Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Darksage Walker, and today we're going to be having a look at the Activision themed run. God, that glitch is funny. So, in order to properly encapsulate my thoughts on Activision, I figured, well, they're one of the big game publishers, which means that their motto is, they would rather have no money than some money if they can't have all of the money. So I figured we'd go with the Avarice Robe to increase our gold gain, and then couple that with the Glove of Midas. And that basically means we're just going to have to buy our way into a good run, because we're starting with basically crap, whatever. And then two good things, which, as is common for game publishers like Activision, it's basically they sometimes accidentally do things right. But trust me, that is not generally their MO. They would rather burn as many bridges as possible if they think it'll get them good results. So let's actually start in the chilling dungeons if we can. There we go. Alright. So I think by now the cat is kind of out of the bag. Yes, this is literally the exact same run as the EA run. Like, it's the exact same starting setup. What I'm going to find is likely going to be different. But considering that I find both Activision and EA to be just as creative and artistically bankrupt and gross as one another, I see no reason to go out of my way to try to design a run that's like, specific to their special game franchises. Like, I could not care less about things like Call of Duty. I don't care about. Okay, well, there goes most of my health because these guys are assholes. Yes, that was hyperbole. They didn't take all of my health, but wow, why do they get to do so much damage before I'm allowed to break out of their bullshit? Yeah, I don't care about Call of Duty. Likewise, I don't care about Battlefield. I do not care about the Madden series. Ooh, is there anything here I like? Volatile Gemstone is only a maybe. That's because I don't really want to weaken my... Well, the thing is, though, that... Hold on, brain fry. The thing is, the signature that I have doesn't do a lot of damage per hit, so would I really suffer that much? To which I would say, maybe, maybe not, but I'm not sure I want to take that risk. Mathematically speaking, at least from a damage perspective, no, but how many more of those fireballs are actually hitting in comparison to how many hit normally? There we go. And because it seems like the number is similar just because of the spread of the attack, I figure it'd be better for me to just stick with the normal rates and just go from there. So some of you probably already know this, but I do not play games like Call of Duty. I know that's one of Activision's big cash cows, so whenever I hear news about a new Call of Duty, I just go, whoopity-doo! It matters about as much to me as a kick in the crotch. We'll take that, and we'll take that. Yes, it will be faster to go back to the beginning to head down there. And does she have anything I really want? I mean, kind of. Not really, though. Like, is there really a reason to stick with this? Like, I really find that the answer is no. Wind, earth, water, fire. I wouldn't mind having an Actually, I can go flame strike. But that decreases the... You know what? I'm gonna go with Aqua Breaker. Alright, so now we are hoping for an upgrade to Aqua Breaker. Oh, hello. So that's just going to give us the upgraded basic regardless. So now I can hopefully find a better basic. Well, I mean, Dark Sage, Flame Strike is right there. You could just... I don't necessarily want Flame Strike because I want to make sure I can balance out the Captain's Ring. Okay, that is important for me right now because that is currently my best damage upgrade. I want to make sure that it stays nice and strong. There we go. What do we have here? Well, we'll upgrade the Ballestra for sure. I am not even going to touch Surge Ranger. I think I said Surge Ranger. Oops. I made an oops. So it should also be noted that if I do find something that is counting number of enhanced arcana, the Claws of Tomo actually don't count towards that. Oh, hello. Oh, that is a much better basic, that's for sure. Beautiful. Oh, I thought for sure you were dead. So one thing I need to be careful of with Radiant Blast is that the frame data on it is a little slower than Wind Slash. I'm not just talking about for the... There we go. Well, I'm not just talking about for the charge up move, I'm just talking about in general. There's nothing there I care about. Perfect. Alright, what do we have here that could be useful? Dark Katana is a maybe, as I do have a few things that it can boost. But Lotus Froststone is always useful. So we're taking that, we're going to upgrade the Ballestra. See, now what I need is another Wind Arcana to max out the Captain's Ring. I can't just pick... At this point, I can't just pick back up the... Hold on. I can't just pick back up the Wind Slash. I mean, I could, but then I would have to give up something that I like a lot better. There we go. So let's take a moment to think about some of the things that Activision has done. Now, I want to point out that that their entire history isn't as scummy as one would expect. How Activision originally got started was back in the days of the Atari 2600, and what would happen there is, and what caused them to form is that there were a number of developers that weren't happy with how the game development industry was being run. Essentially, and this is actually still kind of common to do today, sadly, there are a number of devs out there that would work on a game and then get no credit for it. And basically, the devs that went on to found Activision were basically saying, yeah, fuck this shit. And so they were founded on a decent starting principle, which of course is very respectable, but as one would expect, it didn't stay that way for long. Let's see, is there anything here I really want? I make a lot of money. Give me the Dark Katana. There are things that it works with. And especially not with Don't Draw Devil Horns on Me, Bobby Kotick. I think it's only fair to make sure that we all understand the sort of company that Activision has become. They're one of the headlining publishers when it comes to the whole fight about loot boxes. And they didn't say anything as stupid as what Electronic Arts said with the whole, surprise mechanics thing. A line so stupid and infamous that it goes down in history as being one of the most memeable quotes you could possibly meme. And it's for good reason. It is so incredibly moronically tone deaf. But even though Activision hasn't said as many stupid things, surprise mechanic, pride and accomplishment, it's their actions that tend to speak much, much louder than their words. So, it's worth noting that Activision... Oh, hey, there are things over there that I want. Let's make some money and go get them. Bladed buckler. Okay. I'm smart. Sweet, glad I went up there. Beautiful. So, it's worth pointing out, though, that, like I said, not everything that Activision does is necessarily absolutely 100% horrible at all. At least not as far as their game franchises. Because there used to be a time when Call of Duty games weren't just shooty bang bang. There was a time in which one could say that there were entries in the franchise that were not only good, but almost downright profound in the message they were portraying. But since then, it's not that. I think we all started to see what was happening when instead of doing their own thing, they decided to follow the trend of futuristic shooters with infinite warfare. Like, it comes to me as absolutely no surprise to me that for the most part what Activision does is follow trends. Hence why the newest Call of Duty game, hello Unicorn Disguise. Alright, if I have the money, I'll come back for Cabby's Bubblegum. How are you still alive? Oh hey, a Freya statue. Kick. Although I don't think it's that easy to destroy statues in real life. If you do that in real life, you're probably going to break your foot. Just offering a little practical advice. That was not very smart. I probably should have... There we go. Alright, so we can upgrade Aqua Breaker. We can upgrade Snare Track. Oh, smooth. I made an oops. Alright, let's wait for him to walk up against a wall. Because that'll actually be the best way to start, is by... No, up against a wall, you dipshit. Don't walk towards me. There we go. And get explosive charge. I don't have a huge problem with explosive charge, but believe me, I will be replacing this with a good wind arcana when I find one. Hello, Discord. How are you? Hopefully, my friends don't mind waiting on me to finish recording. I say friends, but more than likely it's more along the lines of singular. And again, that's not a problem. Simply pointing out facts. There we go. And was there something here? Oh yeah, Cabby's Bubblegum. Give me that. But believe me when I say that Activision has just as much of a corrupting influence on the studios that it acquires. Like, they don't go out of their way to destroy the studios like EA does, but instead what they do is they just take the studios and morph and warp them until they're unrecognizable. This is most notable in their partnership with Blizzard, which, yes, it wasn't just a studio acquisition necessarily. They flat out went full partnership on their business. And I don't know if that was the idea of J. Allen Brack or if that was a Bobby Kotick decision. Like I have to think that they both had a hand to play in that. But yeah, no matter how you look at it, equally as disappointing. Because Blizzard used to be a company that was all about the art, all about the games, and they were doing just fine. They didn't become such a huge entity in the gaming world for no reason. Like, there's a reason why there are still people thinking that the next Diablo game is going to be something worth a damn, and it won't be. Especially when you factor in the idea that Tencent are the developers at the helm of it. I'll take that, but I don't know if it's going to be any good. Beautifully done. So that'll charge up my basic. That'll prevent slow. I want to wait, because apparently I found Iris and just it tuned it out, I guess. Alright, that's right. So what I'm thinking is that I wanted to purchase an Arcana to give to the doctor and then take Shearing Chain for myself, because that'll work out very nicely with the Dark Katana. I hate nitroglycerin barrels. I know that's a common video game trope, but why is it in this game? Like, I really don't understand why it's also in this game. Is that because video games are just by law expected to have nitroglycerin barrels in them? I don't understand. Alright, that was worth it. Glad I did that. Alright, well, at the very least I can buy Shearing Chain for myself. Okay, I see. And that is the entire floor. There we go. And that's just barely enough to pick up Scales of Babylon. I will give that to the doctor. And she will take it because it's an unupgraded, because it's a, unupgraded Arcana. Elixir of Might, that's awesome, thank you. Now we'll go back and grab Shearing Chain. And we will switch to Shearing Chain after the fight with Shu, because I can still get more out of Explosive Charge against him, but then on the next stage I can switch it up. Oh, I'm dumb. There we go. Hello, Frozen Seekers, but I don't think I need you. The thing that still sticks in my craw the most about Activision and their shitty practices is what happened, what was it, early 2019? How they went out of their way to brag about having made record sales, you know, to the shareholders, the people that they actually give a damn about, while simultaneously laying off 800 workers in in order to continue to pretend like that infinite upward growth is even a possibility. And I know a lot of people are like, well, that's just how businesses work. In order to maintain upward growth, sometimes you have to factor out redundancies. First of all, how dare you call another human being a redundancy? That is completely unacceptable in my book. And if you are one of those people thinking like that, well, I really only have four words to share with you at that point. Get the fuck out. Another human being is not a redundancy, no matter how the companies want to spin it. This is a person. This is someone who has dreams and aspirations and hopes just like anyone else. And if they've gone to the trouble to go to school to learn how to design games, to learn how to code properly, and you're repaying them by essentially telling them that they're not worth anything. Yeah, that sounds about right. Good business ethics. I can see why you're a Fortune 500 company. I don't even know if they are or not. I know that Bob Kotick is one of the most overpaid CEOs in America. I also know that he's a horrible, despicable excuse of a human being. There we go. Oh, you're still alive. What? No, go away. Hey, you made me waste a crystalline ballista on the air that you were standing in. What a jerk. I think a water cushion is the right choice here. Which unfortunately means I'm probably not going to be able to afford the shearing chain upgrade, but unfortunately sometimes those are just the breaks. Perfect. That explosive charge again? What in the world? Okay, well, I mean, it makes sense. This is the Activision themed run, and you know, it's only logical that you'll eventually get duplicates in your loot boxes. And no, Activision doesn't have a cute name for them like EA does. They're good old fashioned rip you the fuck off loot boxes in Activision's world. Definitely take that. Oh, beautifully timed. Oh, and hey, a health orb. And to give you guys an idea about how committed I am to the idea of screw Activision, I know for a fact that Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is likely to be an amazing investment of my time and my gaming skill. I love games like that. I don't necessarily mean Souls-like. I just mean games that are a proper investment and ones that are highly skill-based. It's part of the reason why I like Monster Hunter so much. So, yeah, I completely acknowledge, yes, this game is likely for me. However, because Activision published it, I absolutely 100% refuse to play it. I will not put any money into Activision's hands if I can help it. And that was already my stance before before the Blizzard buyout, you know, before they became Activision Blizzard, you know, before Blizzard lost their soul. So imagine how I feel. Imagine how I must feel about a company that's not only normalizing the practice and trade of loot boxes and pushing gambling onto children. Imagine now how I must feel about them after they lay off 800 of their. After they lay off 800 of their employees just to try to pretend that there's such a thing as perpetual upward growth for their company's earnings. You know, just to please the shareholders and make it look like, oh, it's never gonna end. We'll have all the money forever. And the part that I find the most upsetting about that is that they unfortunately do continue to make all of the money because of things like Call of Duty. And it's because so many people out there either don't know about or don't care about the way that they do their business. Because I'll tell you, the way that they do things is not considered normal. What's considered normal for most businesses is that you make a product and you sell a product. And it bothers me even further to know that, for the most part, this is what people who aren't in the know on gaming activity seem to think gaming is. It's all about companies like EA and Activision, so all you ever see is your Call of Duties and your Battlefields and these things that people and business practices that people find reprehensible and untenable. It's like, no, that's not what everything is. Granted, it's unfortunately what you get used to looking at things like the mobile game market. Oh, I suck. And unfortunately, companies that operate out of China, they've managed to get their gamers to just accept that as the normality of the situation. Like, no, loot boxes and having to pay for every tiny little thing is not the norm. It really isn't. And it's such a big reason why I'm so supportive of the independent developers that are out there, because they have the right idea. They make a product, they sell a product, and then later, if they have any ideas or if there's enough demand for it, then they'll start talking about downloadable content and things like that. But very rarely are they nickel and diming people to death. And yes, games like Fall Guys are the exception. And I don't even have a huge problem with Fall Guys, I really don't, but I don't know, I just don't think it's necessarily for me. Let's see. That is increase health for movement type. Yeah, I'm smart. Okay, that did not work out well. That did not work out well at all. Let me look. There we go. Alright. That feels a little bit better. And for what it's worth, I am not telling you all that you need to follow my example and, boycott EA and Activision. That's a choice that I made, but I know a lot of people out there wouldn't make the same choice because there are game franchises that they don't want to lose out on. Like, I'm willing to lose out on some games because I've got plenty of stuff to play. Plenty of things that I'm interested in. I could be playing games like Isaac, and Undermine, and Skull the Hero Slayer, and this for a long time yet. It's boring. So I've got games to play. I do not need to care about, nor do I want to care about the AAA gaming industry. And I'm sure there's a number of you who are going, well, doesn't that fly in the face of the idea that you're a fan of Nintendo's work? Which, to a degree, yes, it kind of does. I'm not even going to lie about that. But I think we can also safely say that, for the most part, Nintendo tends to do their own thing and doesn't get wrapped up in things like that. But every now and again, you get your Super Mario Run or your Mario Kart Tour. Let's just be completely fair with each other. AAA gaming is not what it used to be. I would almost argue that a lot of these games aren't even fun. And boil a lot of that down to publishers like EA and Activision. Andrew Wilson and Bobby Kotick are the ones that are giving our beloved hobby a very unfair name, and I think it's only fair to look both of them in the eye and say, hey guys, just fucking stop. Hey, just fucking stop. You've had your fun, you've taken our hobby and molded it so that you can essentially rape and pillage the landscape. Just fucking stop. You're both terrible. Anyway, that's all I've got for right now. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate your support and all of the positive feedback you give me. As always, tune back in. I'm thinking I'm going to start running Skull the Hero Slayer pretty regularly, and I still have other things that I want to get to as well, so keep tuned to the channel. There will be plenty of stuff coming down the pipeline. I appreciate you guys spending your free time with me, so that's it. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you. Screw Activision.